What's oh man, that was a terrible intro. COVID, man. Fuck COVID, man. Got me fucked up. But what's good, A2D family? What's good, MoneyPot team? We got a lot of stuff to talk about, man. We talking NFC full preview part one. We talking Olympic gold. We talking Hall of Fame. We talking all the little rumors, the pitchers, his trainer, Phil's on the hot run. Stay. Oh, did it cut me off? Ooh, rough morning. Let's go, man. We here.
Come on, man. Money Pop about to start.
I know, I'm coming, man.
Yeah, grab your notepad, man, for real.
I ain't gotta fuck it, man. Come on.
Yeah, man, they be spitting shit, man.
True.
Yeah.
Side guy, that's boy.
Money Pop, money talk. All they do is talk facts. Bird gang. All they do is talk stacks. 360 on the new view. Go run, tell the ad. 40-yard dash time. Moss Money Podcast time. S.co headlines.
And we are live. Ooh. Mouse Money here, Money Pop Podcast. Money Pop Podcast. Man, I am messing up this morning. What is going on, fellas? You know what I mean? I done dropped the ball with the coughing. I'm dropping the ball with the intro. I can't speak. Hold up, man. I got to gas up, man. My asthma fucking up. Yeah. Yeah, man, I need to gas up, man. Get my chest right. Get my lungs right, man. What's up, y'all? What's up with y'all, man?
Hey, you messed this whole intro up. You caught
whole
right
intro.
in the intro.
It's been a while, bro. It's been a while. I feel,
yeah.
I'm so excited. I got my energy back, man. Fuck COVID, and I'm just messing up with everything, man. What's up, boys, man? I got my guys with me. B Diddy, Renzo. What's good, fellas?
Happy Sunday, brother. Happy Sunday, man.
Yeah,
Happy
man.
to be back.
For sure. Let's get let's get right into it. We're gonna get right into the poll question of the day, and then we'll go through the spiel, man. We'll talk about UFC yesterday. We'll talk about all the topics of what's going on today in sports. Football is fucking back. I love it. We're going to talk about best bets. We're going to talk about football betting strategy. So make sure y'all stay tuned. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification button. Tell a friend and tell a motherfucker. See, I told y'all it was the asthma, dog. It was the asthma.
You know back?
Yeah,
you
back.
got your booster.
I got my win back. Man. Oh, there's a lady running by. All right, so poll question of the day, man. Is Dallas the team to beat in the NFC East? Agree or disagree? Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, all the above, man. Make sure y'all hit those comments, hit that likes button. So once again, I'm gonna go right to you, B Diddy, man. We talked about the Eagles. Can the Eagles win the NFC East last week? But let's switch it up and let's look at the favorites, because now I think, what were you, 31? Or is it 30? 30 days from the start of football? Like literally 30 days, less than a month to the actual start of actual NFL football regular season games. We need to start getting into our spiels about who's going to win each division, start giving some future picks, really start digging in about it a little bit early because of we've already seen, I think I've already seen some injuries pop up that you typically do with camp. But at the same time, this is the time to put some of those future bets in, man. So is Dallas the team to beat in the NFC East? Agree or disagree? What's up, bro?
Good question, man. I think going into the season on paper, the way these guys are looking as far as being in shape, you got Zeke looking like one of his best years. He's looked all career. You got Dak Prescott being back. They've added a couple big dynamite pieces on the defensive side of the ball.
Yep.
Going into the season, I would say Dallas will be the favorite, but I can't sleep on the other guys in the league, such as the Washington Redskins. I think that's a sleeper in our conference. I think their defense is only going to be much more mature, as they were a young defense last year. and they were dominant. I think this year they're another year under their belt, with probably a defensive MPP in the future of the young fella coming off the edge. And then you got Ryan Fitzpatrick, who we know is a gunslinger that's going to get the ball out of his hands. Yeah, he'll make mistakes, but he'll be able to extend the ball down the field, which will also, at the end of the day, get them some points on the board, which they were lacking last year. And then you got the Giants, I feel as though still getting healthy.
Right.
Saquon Barkley obviously may not be starting in the beginning of the season, and they'll probably be taking.
I don't get that. Like, I don't get that. He should.
Yeah, I just don't think they're. I think they kind of see the outcome, right? I think they're kind of already in the forefront of saying, okay, we're still a couple pieces away from being a contender. I'm not going to risk my franchise player this year right away, but we're going to take it slow. We'll see how it goes. They start getting some W's on their belt, then they might have to bring them in and make it happen. But for the most part, I would say Cowboys would be my favorite, coming followed by the Washington Redskins, and then maybe the Philadelphia Eagles and the Giants could be fighting in that third place or surprises later on. But I would say that Cowboys are my favorite in the division. But do not sleep on the Washington Redskins.
So shout out to Joe Todaro. He disagrees. I always say the Bird game, but if Washington offense can put up points with their already dangerous defense, they'll run away with the division. And that'll be excuse me, that'll be the first time in almost 20 years that we have a repeat. Yeah, we have a repeat defender.
I mean, to answer to Joe though, I mean, we just put it out there. What tells you to? I mean, I know we all fans of the Birds, right? Like this show, we got to be honest. I think ultimately we're just being honest. Of course, I would love my Philadelphia Eagles to be the favorite and to win the division, but we got to be realistic that we have a new head football coach, which means we have a new offense.
Right.
We have a new defensive coordinator, which means a new defense. We have a new first-year starter as far as going to the season being a starter at the quarterback position we're all questionable about, right? Yeah. We got Miles Sanders now fully being the face of the offense, right? We have our rookie wide receiver, supposed to be our number one, that's on MCL sprain already. He should be healthy. But then behind him, we have what? Didn't they say that Brown's neck might be the number one now? Receiver? Is it Brown? I want to say Brown. But anyway, I'll double check that. And then we have a couple new pieces on our defensive side of the ball. So what makes us be the head runners of this division? I just don't understand that response of disagreeing in Bird Gang up the top. Doesn't make sense.
Right. Chris, what you talking about, man? Renzo, you there?
Can you fellas hear me?
Yeah, I got you, bro.
So my apologies for any audio difficulty here, but
no, you good.
Yeah, man. I think I agree. I agree with Brent, man. I think it's I don't think you can look past the Cowboys if you're talking NFC East. They just have better players, particularly on offense right now, more experienced players, and just explosive, man. So I would look at their offense and expect them to be probably one of the best in the league. I would imagine, man. I wouldn't be surprised if they finished the season top 5, top 3 type of offenses. So when you look at that compared to the rest of the offenses in the NFC East, man, they're just so far ahead. Now defensively, obviously they got some work to do, but looking at the other teams, man, I just don't. I think going into the season, you just got to put them as favorites. Like Brent said, I'm interested to see what the Redskins do. Obviously, their defense is what it was last year. They should only be better. I think offensively, they got a good scheme. They know how to play within what the team is and the strength of the team, which is the defense. So I think that could be a sleeper there, man. The Giants, I'm actually outside, unlike Brent. The Giants, man, I think they may have overshot last year, man. I'm still not sold on Daniel Jones.
Right.
I think their defense probably played above their capabilities last year. I don't know if that's sustainable. I would have to see it again. So I actually don't really have too many high hopes for the Giants. But the Redskins, I think, could be something. I'm a Jalen Hurts guy, man, so I always gotta give a shot there, man. I think we might mess around and do something because the Cowboys are still the Cowboys. So.
But you're only saying that because his bar is so low, right? His bar is so ridiculously low that you feel that he can't. Like it's a win-win for him.
Jalen Hurts, that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's true. I'm certainly could be, taking a good bet there, but sometimes you
Yeah,
gotta take good bets. You know.
absolutely. That's what we're here for. That's what
Right,
we're here
right.
for. So I'm looking at the division now. I'm looking at the NFC East, and these are the odds. So the excuse me, the odds right now are the Dallas Cowboys are plus 130. The Washington football team is plus 260. The Giants are plus 390, and we bringing up the rear. The Eagles are plus 470. Chris, since you got the mic already, man, looking at that, no, it's hard, right? Because we're in camp, so injuries play a part. But right now, looking at that, looking at this division right now, who you think? What's a good play here? What's a good
What was the
future?
odds? What was the odds one more time?
Yeah, sure. So Dallas is plus 130.
Mm-hmm.
Washington is plus 260. The Giants are plus 390, and the Eagles are plus 470. Now we'll give our official pick within right before the season comes up. But looking at the odds now, because they might fluctuate, they might change a little bit here. Maybe not too much, but they might because of injury. Right now, looking at it, gun to your head, Chris. What's your play there?
Gun to my head. I think your best value is on the Redskins there.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I think if the Cowboys was like plus 170 or something like that with a little bit more juice, I would lean that way. But
Yeah,
basically, just a little bit above even money. I don't think they're far and away just a dominant team compared to these rest of these teams. And they're still the Cowboys. They still have holes defensively. And then, like you said, they're only Dak Prescott or some star offensive player away from being hurt of their season going to shits anyway.
yeah.
So I think the risk is at plus 270 feels really good to me. Their defense is going to have them at least 8-8, 9-17. So
Yeah.
basically, you're hoping that can they squeak out 2 to 3 wins because of lucky bounce, injury, whatever the case is, and that's certainly within any team, any year's arm reach. So I like the Redskins there at plus 270. That feels like the best bet to me.
Their regular season win total was 8.5. Washington.
Yeah, so that makes sense to me. So I can see them getting to 10-6. That's what I
Mm,
just said. So if they can, that's exactly what I just said, right? So I think their defense, the team puts them at 8-8, right, somewhere in that range.
yeah, and then you
Can
get
they
a lucky
can they
bounce.
scrape out 2 extra wins and get to 10-6? And I think 10-6 easily can win this division.
Yeah, you right with him, Brent. You
I
got
mean, we're talking about value. I mean, yeah,
yeah.
you got 2-1 value on your money if you bet the Washington Redskins. Why can't they? They got the best defensive line in the country.
Hmm.
They got the best defensive line in the country.
Right.
Your,
Yeah.
your team is led by your defensive line, and your offensive line. Your defensive line is literally elite, and they're deep coming off the bench to replace those guys that need a breather. So, and Ryan Fitzpatrick, like I said, is a gunslinger. He got players to throw the ball to: Terry McLaurin, Steven Sims. They picked up Curtis Samuels. So you got some players he can throw the rock
You
to,
got some
some
weapons.
some speedsters, and when your defense can lead you, all you need to do is put up 17 to 21 points a game. You should be good. So like Chris was saying, is that their defense is going to give them the 8-8. I think Fitzpatrick doing with his health can give you one of them comeback games,
Yeah.
last drive games. That's going to give you extra boost against a tough opponent, probably an in-conference opponent like the Giants or even the Cowboys. So or definitely the Eagles, right?
Yeah.
I was just looking at the Philadelphia Eagles wide receivers, and I don't know anybody on that roster. Jalen Reagor is number two. I guess DeAndre Smith will be our number one, and then after that, who do we have? I don't. I literally look at the roster. Who's here?
Right.
Who's Hurts throwing the ball to?
Ertz.
So
Ertz, you
Miles
got it.
Sanders. So if I was to look at a pre-FFL fantasy guy, look at Miles Sanders to touch the ball a lot. He's going to have a lot of swing routes.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, we'll definitely get into some fantasy talk, man. Shout out to my guy Willie Vegas, man. He's always on the fantasy thing. We'll get him on a segment here and bring him on. And then also, I'm working on it. Working on it. We got a guy out in Vegas. We got a bookman out in Vegas that's hoping. I'm hoping to book. So just stick with me. I'm hoping to book on a weekly segment once the football season comes along. We're going to be really talking about the bets and what liability the book is seeing. You know what I mean? Which I think is a great added value for you guys to understand how you look at betting and how do you place your bets, because when the book has a lot of liability on it, that means the public is writing whatever bet that is really hard. So the book is looking at this bet like, hey, you know what I mean? Like we the book is in it to make money. Vegas is in it to make money. So they need to make sure that they manage that liability in terms of that betting. So it'd be good to get a guy out from out west, out in Vegas, who's feet on the ground, giving us the insight of what the casino and what the sports books is looking at, and seeing what type of volume, right? What type of volume they're getting on certain bets. We typically fade, excuse me, we typically fade public plays. We don't really ride with wherever the public is, but it's just another kind of angle for you guys to understand how you start looking at these bets and how to read these bets. So that segment is coming, man. Segment is coming. I'm gonna land that deal. So um, I actually disagree with both of you. I'm a believer in the Giants.
You know,
Um,
Brent's ready for college football when he said the Redskins got the best D line in the country.
I
Oh,
I
the country.
You hear me?
right. Um, I disagree, man. I'm actually on the Giants. I think the Giants have the best value. I think that offense is ready to go. I think Barkley's going to come back strong. I'm on the Giants. The defense showed up a little bit last year. Like you said, Daniel Jones is the big question, and it's
Mm.
just like in all this whole division, every quarterback is the question. Can Dak come back strong? Right? Is Fitzmagic going to lead Washington? Is Daniel Jones ever going to take that next growth step in his progression? Is Hurts, hopefully what we hope him to be, possibly. So, all quarterback questions in the NFC East right now. Obviously, Dallas is the favorite. They probably are the team to beat because they're the best team on paper. Hard to say that because Washington won the division, but it's been, I think, almost 20 years since we had a repeat division winner. But I like the Giants, man, at 4-1. I really do. I really like the Giants at 4-1. I actually have a future bet on them way before they were 4-1. They were more 5. I believe Barkley's going to come back tough.
Hey
I
Nate,
believe,
I'll take that bet.
you take that bet. What?
I'll take your future bet.
You take my future bet?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll make sure.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that book. If you giving money away, don't worry about. No. Giants got an opportunity, but I just think at the end of the day, I just think they're not going to have enough to do it.
Yeah.
They have a great defense. They have a good defense.
Yeah. So,
Daniel
um,
Jones will be Daniel Jones.
so let's let's recap the betting week, and we'll get into the membership team, the bets that we won UFC last night. Brent, did you how was your betting week this week, man? Do any damage this week? Took any wins? Take any grab any wins? Maybe a little bit of loss here and there, but we always on the profit side on the week, man. What was your betting week looking like?
No, I'm actually opening up my app now. It was actually a pretty good week,
There you
actually.
go. That's what I like to hear.
So,
Phillies riding that Phil train.
yeah,
Red hot
a
Phillies.
couple good Philly hits. Let me look at it right now. I'm pulling it up.
Couple good. What are they? Seven going on 8 in a row right now. Let's go.
Yeah, but I ain't getting up.
Ring that damn
Shout out,
bell.
shout out to the Phillies. But I tread carefully. I had a couple UFCs last night. Which was good.
Yes, sir.
Had a few in that. Had the Jose Aldo. So I took Jose Aldo. Also had late coming in last night was
He hurt me, man.
oh man.
He hurt us. I didn't take Auto, man. I took Pete. I forget his name. Begins the last name begins with M. Auto's a legend, but he is way past his prime. Now, obviously, he showed up last night and he had a dominant win last night. But if you look at his last fights, I believe he was in a losing record. I believe he was like 2-4 in his last 6. So he was, and we talked about this before with UFC. When those legends start to decline, they decline.
Yeah.
Right. They decline hard and fast. So I thought I think it was want to say Munoz or something like that. I thought the other dude had a good shot. The odds said that, although it was 118 to versus 105. But he hurt us, man. We would. So we still won yesterday, right? We won 2 of the 3 straight bets. And we would have won 2 of the three parlays of the other dude that won. We'd have cleaned up. We would have been up. The one was plus 250. The other one was plus 800.
Damn,
So
I would have definitely told you Aldo.
yeah.
But the
Go
two
ahead,
other
Bill.
big
My
ones I
bad.
had this past week was I had the White Sox. That was a big bet for me. White Sox minus a half. That was on the 7th, and then I took France the other night plus the 12.5. I thought that was way too many points
Oh, for sure. For
for them. I thought that was a
championship game almost.
yeah low hanging. It was a champion. It was a go yeah. It
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
low
Right.
hanging fruit there at 12.5, especially when they beat them in the preseason handsomely. So I thought they would keep it tight. So the 12.5 was key
Yeah,
there.
that
So
was easy money.
put
Easy
heavy
money.
money there. And then my last one that I wagered heavy on was a nerfer. A nerfy was the first game was the Mets. It was Marcus Stroman on the mound versus Kyle Gibson, and I put some heavy money on that. No run first inning.
There you go.
We got a little lucky. Bryce Harper hit it to the warning track, but
You cleaned up then.
he
You
was
cleaned up
good.
good. You
Yeah,
cleaned up good.
slow early the week, but at the end of the week start picking
So
up.
it's
So,
picking up.
yeah.
And I know Renzo, you on your poker grind, so you don't really bet too much with the baseball.
Yep, yep. Just couple
Yeah,
games.
how was the felt treating you?
Felt was okay. I actually went to I was in Atlantic City, so I played at Borgata on that was on Thursday.
Best poker room in AC.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
Thursday and Friday I was down there. I was doing pretty good. I was playing a little 2-5. I was doing pretty good, and then ran into Ace Queen of Spades versus Aces. I had the Ace Queen, and somehow I managed to get a lot of my stack in. Kind of feeling this, which is that correlates to this show of like staying disciplined even when you're ahead and
Yep.
not start
Yep.
feeling yourself. And somehow I thought I was making an awesome read. Somehow I got a lot of chips.
Got
Kids and aces. And it's always, people love to show you their aces. Like when you get
Oh,
them,
for
they
sure.
love to like flip them over real quick.
For
So I'm
sure.
waiting to see if he turns his hand. Of course, he turns his hand. 2 aces, all red cards. All red cards at the flop. All low red cards at the flop. So I got up and left after that. So it's been cool, but still ahead though. So I can't get.
Go ahead. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. That's what's up. So like like I said, I've been I've been riding the fields all week. So
Nice.
I've been hitting on them, and then I've been pressing. Right, I've been pressing every bet, and then the membership team, man, we had the fields on there. Atlanta hated on us, man. They were winning the whole game, top of the ninth. They let one shallow run go in, and then they let up a home run, and they lose 3-2. I had them in the run line, I had them in the money line, so that loss. I was in the UFC. I was all over game. Pause. With the knockout. I had the prop bet for him to knock out Lewis. All over it. The odds said it. I had him in every parlay for plus money. So I was definitely on the main event there. We did have a couple wins in UFC yesterday. So not when you mess with these parlays, y'all gotta understand. Parlays are not something I really like to do, but I know that excuse me, it's a public play. So with these parlays, we have to be careful. You can take some of the plays out of the parlays, but the parlays are just there so you can build your odds. The casino, the Vegas, they want you to bet parlays because they know they're so hard to hit consistently. Now we've done a good job in the membership team to be able to hit them here and there, so we're up. But at the same time, just like last night, it was $0 versus $1,200, right? If Aldo loses that fight in I want to say Munez, but I don't think that's how you pronounce his name. But Aldo's opponent, if he wins that fight, I'm on here like, yo, told you we gonna hit it, X, Y, and Z stuff. But you know what I mean? That's why I build up the straight plays. So if y'all part of the membership team, just like my man right here, Molly Mall, what's up? When y'all look at those plays, y'all want to bet the straight plays a little bit more heavier, and then gauge the parlays. The bigger the parlay, the bigger the odds. Those plus, like I had a long shot on there for plus like 3,000. don't put like $100 on that. You know what I mean? Throw a quarter on there. Throw if depending on your bankroll, maybe throw $50 on there or something like that. But I put them as a long shot because I know that the odds of this hitting is rare, but we have a good shot. So and we did have a good shot. I think I was a long shot for a 5-team parlay, and I hit like 4 of them. What I mean. So we were right there, but it just didn't go our way. So that's all good. So look out for the membership team today. If you haven't, man, go ahead and join. If you go to Instagram on MoneyPot Podcast, make sure you follow. In the link there is the join button for the Money Team membership, man. $9.99, not weekly, not bi-weekly, $9.99 a month. It's already paid for it, at least 5 times over at this point with the membership plays. So we got more plays coming today, so look out for that. So since we let's get right back into football, man. Let's get right back into NFC, looking at this division or this conference, any future bets, football strategies. The football season is upon us. I think I don't really know anybody who watched the Hall of Fame game at all, but you know what I mean. But it felt good to know football was back, right? It felt good to see that people on the grass, and I looked at some of the stats while the game was going on, just getting a sense of what's going on. Oh yeah, man! Shout out to those who made the Hall of Fame games. Shout out to Megatron. Megatron was a fan of A2D Radio, believe it or not. I think Megatron, the A2D Radio had put a post up, and Megatron had made a comment or liked it. So shout out to Hall of Fame, Megatron, and all the Hall of Famers that enshrinement. Good thing B Dog got in, dog, because he wasn't getting in if he didn't make it that year. I'll tell you that right now. Steve Atwater got in, Troy got in. He wasn't gonna make it if he didn't get in the year last year. I'll tell you that right now. So I'm glad that he got in. So looking at this NFC conference, man, we're gonna break this up in 2 parts. And the NFC conference right now is looking like obviously it's Tampa's again, Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But looking at this division, the NFC East, who you guys see? We'll just talk about dark horses. Who you guys see maybe winning the NFC East as a dark horse? I'm sorry, the NFC conference as a dark horse. B Diddy, I'll go with you, bro.
Are you going with me? All right.
Yeah, I'll go with you.
As a dark horse.
Dark horse.
I mean, you got to respect the Rams, right?
Got to respect the Rams.
I mean, I think that'll be my number 1 team. We're going to say, I mean, are they a dark horse right now? Not sure, but I would say the Rams would be the. They're not a favorite, so I would say they would be my team I would look at because they got Matthew Stafford, who I think they were just a quarterback away from being a Super Bowl championship team.
Correct.
So I would look that route. I'm going to go a little bit deeper. I'm not even going to bring them up because I'm going to say they have the pieces on play.
Who?
Nah, fuck that. I'm not even going to say that shit.
Who? You going to say Dallas?
Nah, I ain't going to say Dallas, man. Fuck them. Fuck Dallas. But anyway, it'd be LA Rams, man. The Rams would be my
Rams.
The Rams for the NFC East. From the NFC.
The Rams. Let me look at those numbers and real quick. Yeah, Joe, the membership is through the A2D Radio. It sends you to the A2D Radio YouTube. But it's mine. It's my membership. Don't get it twisted. Dawkins, bro, Kevo. I mean, yeah, Kevo. If you look at the numbers, I don't know. His versus Atwater, his versus Troy. If you look at Dawkins' numbers, you know what I mean? Because Dawkins, he had a lot of forced fumbles, he had a lot of sacks. But if you look at the picks, he wasn't in that same echelon with Atwater and Troy. So and they got rings. You know what I mean? They got rings. So I mean, you gotta think about that.
You know what? One thing this Hall of Fame made me feel though, made me feel old as shit. Though. I'll tell you that.
Well, oh,
When
'cause
I'm
it's
looking at
all
all
us
them
players,
people,
right?
they all players we grew up, we
Yeah,
like in high
right.
school,
Yeah,
grew up like
yeah.
watching and wanting to be, and Troy Polamalu,
Mm-hmm.
that number 43. One of the reasons why I love that number 43 was Troy, and it was a Peyton Manning, and it's just these are all players that we don't watch at a mature age growing up. It was like, damn, bro,
Yeah, yeah. So
we
right,
getting old.
so right now, you said the Rams are plus 700 to win NFC East.
Yeah, that's some good value.
Some good value there.
So what are they, fourth on the list, third on the list? Give me that
Fourth,
list. Give me that.
fourth.
So
All
give me
right.
the
So that
breakdown.
so that list is Tampa plus 300, the Packers are plus 550,
Mm,
the Niners are plus 650, which is crazy that the
yeah,
Niners are that high.
I was
The,
gonna say the Niners, but
the Rams are plus 7, Seahawks plus 1,000, Dallas plus 1,300, New Orleans is terrible at plus 1,600.
Jameis
The,
Winston.
the Vikes are plus 17, and the Cardinals are plus 18. Everybody else,
Niners, Seattle would be my dark horse.
yeah, yeah. Chris, what you got for me? Excuse me. What you got for me, man? NFC East dark horse.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you're thinking, I do like the Rams, but I wouldn't
Yeah.
consider them a dark horse. If I was looking
Mm,
for a true dark horse, I was going to say the 49ers.
Well, they're not a dark horse
Just
either.
thinking a dark horse outside.
I think they are though. Like,
Well, I mean, the numbers,
Yeah,
the numbers tell you that they're third on the list.
yeah, the numbers say they're not. They aren't. But I mean, I got to look at what they did in the offseason. Obviously, Jimmy G's back. And as much people can say what they want to say about Jimmy G wins games. You know what I mean? He wins football games. I don't care what they say. He wins football games. And Shanahan to me is probably the best young coach. You could argue McVay, but I think Shanahan is the best young coach in the league, in my opinion, because he figures a way out how to win with his team. They were a competitive team where their whole team was hurt last year. Like everybody was out for the year, and they were still competitive last year, some way, somehow, defensively and offensively and special teams. So I'm a big Shanahan fan. I get that, but I mean, you would think it'd be switched. You would think the Rams would be over them, but I mean, we gotta look at their schedule too. That's why I'm saying these kind of throw darts at the wall a little bit and see what sticks and see what makes sense. It's just for now we're going to get really into our picks when we really kind of dig deep into it, but we got to look at the strength of their schedule to see if that's warranted why they're third. But I mean, I don't know. I think you know I'm with y'all. I'm with the Rams just because of what they have on paper and just we know what Stafford is. Cam Akers getting hurts them though from a rushing standpoint. So they need that balance there, and he's getting back to almost Detroit when he didn't have a run game, and now he just he's got to sling the ball and throw for 5,000 yards. But so we'll see. But I'm writing some of these plays down to make sure that we come back and we can get really deep, real more in depth into some of these plays that we're looking at. Shout out to Joe, man. Looks like he's a member. I'm already bet. I'm safe. I absolutely y'all bet. So I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, bro. Keep getting this money, man. And remember, tell a friend to tell a motherfucking friend, man. I say it all the time. Um, so we're talking football. We're talking bets. We're talking features. Season's upon us, man. Chris, I go with you, man. Tell me what some of your betting strategies. And when I say betting strategies, are you a big teaser guy, super teaser? You stick with the straight bets, home dog. You look for those home dogs to get those key numbers. We'll talk about what the key numbers are in football. Obviously, any type of rule changes that can affect football bets, like more people going for two, obviously affecting totals, affecting the key numbers. But what are some kind of the bets that you typically do when football season comes around?
Yeah, man. So it's So it's a lot with football. Obviously, we could probably have a whole show on this, but
for sure.
ultimately, I do like the teaser parlays for football, just because I think in general, and to another part of your question of like points and numbers,
Hmm.
football, the way that scoring happens, you can somewhat track games, right? And rarely, I don't want to say rarely, but most games, I would argue, I would believe, are, if a team loses by 12 points, 13, 14 points, that's relatively a blowout, right? Like games typically can be within double digits. So I think it's more, it's a higher probability. I think you can guess within a ballpark of a score, right? Especially when you have teams that might be competitive to each other, similar styles. Is it cold? If it's a low scoring game. So you can know, like, hey, I don't know who might not win this game, but I don't think one team's going to blow another team out. So if I can tease it or get a parlay or something to a 7 points, 8 points, 10 points, 11 points, I can start feeling comfortable because I don't think the game's going to get out of hand one way or the other, if that makes sense. So I do like the teasers here, especially like a 2, 3, 4 team teasers for football. But this upcoming season, I am focused on doing a lot of single game bets.
Okay.
That's the best bet to do. So I do want to be probably something like 60-40, 70-30 straight game bets versus teasers.
Okay. Nice. 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 Brent, man, king of the teasers though. I already know where you're going. King of the teasers.
Yeah, man,
What's
I'm a
up?
sucker when it comes down to teasers. I know we shouldn't be when it comes down to football, though. I am a sucker for the teasers. So I kind of lean on that a little bit. I don't go too further than usually three-team teasers, but if I see something, I may go to a four-team teaser to get an extra. What is it, 3 points?
Right.
But typically, I look at the first quarters a lot. I do bet first quarters a lot, um, and full games. Um, Not too much on player props. It will have to be rare that I'll catch a player prop here and there. I have to see
Yeah.
some type
Yeah.
of trend that's going on. But if I'm looking at the plays in a football game, obviously you guys know I do in betting games. So I do live betting.
You do live betting.
Um, that's kind of my thing. And then pregame, I take a look at first quarters, and I do like to look at those teasers.
Yeah. So two things I want you to do for me if you can. Explain what a teaser is, and then talk about the in live betting because a lot of people might do that as well. I'm not a huge in live better unless I see obviously an edge or some type of liability of my previous bet. So now I'm trying to make sure that I even out if I know a loss is coming. Dangerous though, a dangerous strategy. But at the same time, talk about the live betting of things that you see when you actually do put in those live bets.
Yeah, well, first thing, you asked about teasers.
Yep.
Teasers are just another way to um, work the numbers around into your favor that you like. So if I have a lot of times you'll see during the week you'll have a heavy favorite at a 8 point or a 9.7 point spread.
Yeah.
But they're playing possibly a team that can fight with them a little bit, right? So um, you might want to kind of work those numbers. So usually a teaser is a 7 pointer or a 6 pointer, depending on where you shopping your lines are at. But my lines are usually based off 7 points. So I would have to put two teams to buy those 7 points to bring that spread number down. And you can go up to three teams or four teams or five teams or six teams, and that number will continue to increase on your odds as far as how many points you're going to get. So for a two-team teamer, it'll be 7 points. Three-team teamers will be a 10 point, and I think a four-team teamer can be up to 13 points.
Super team.
So super teasers. So, but you have to win. There is no push, so you can't fall on the number. You have to win. So that's where the hook is that you got to win all four sides, three sides, or two sides of that bet, depending how many teasers you're doing.
But I think you can
Um,
push on what a 16 teaser,
you can
right?
push. You can push past. I want to say five. I think Renzo is good. He does those 5, 6 teamers. He might know where the push is at. I don't usually go above four.
Yeah,
But Renzo can.
I think it's 6, right, Chris?
Yeah, you can push on 6. I believe you can push on 5 too, if I'm not
Oh,
mistaken.
Yeah,
okay.
I think starts at 5.
All right.
And,
All right.
and just a little,
Good to know.
just a little note on top of Brent. Something that I learned to do that I do on 100% of my teasers, especially if you do end up doing a 5 or 6 team teaser. I always try to isolate
The late game.
the late game,
Hmm.
either the 8 o'clock game on
Good
Sunday
jam.
or the Monday or a Monday game, or if somehow I love a bunch of 1 o'clock games,
Yeah.
I'll isolate the 4:30 game so that I can always hedge the ticket
Mm.
against that pick.
Hmm.
So in essence, I'm shortening my ticket. If I have a 5 team teaser, but the last game is Sunday night, I'm really only need the first 4 teams to hit
To
because
make money.
I'm going to make money on the
Hmm.
opposite on my hedge on the end game. So that's one tip I think is like masterful. It saved me
Mm.
plenty of times, and it puts you in a situation where you can dictate how much money you can win, but even more so, you can eliminate any losses if you happen to make it to the last game. So
So let me break that down for everybody, so they understand what Chris saying. So just like Brent Brent say, when you tease, you're changing the line that whatever the straight play is. So say it's Eagles versus Dallas, and it's in Philadelphia, and the line at right now, if that was the game right now, I would say Dallas is probably favored by maybe, I want to say maybe 3.5, right? It'll probably be on the hook. I don't think it'll be under 2 because Dallas would get bet up crazy. It might even be more than that. It could be, you know, I'm thinking what would it be in Dallas? If it was in Dallas, it'd probably be almost 7.5, 8. I would think. So, so when you take a teaser, right? So say it's Dallas versus Eagles, you need to do 2 teams, right? You can't just do one. You need to do 2 teams. So say it's Dallas, and we'll just do the NFC East because we're talking about the NFC East. It's Dallas versus the Eagles. The Dallas Cowboys are favored by -3.5, and it's the Giants versus the Washington football team in New York, and Washington's favored by -3, and you do a 2 team teaser. So you do a 2 team teaser, and the 2 team teaser is 7 points. So instead of it being -110, 120 on the line, now you have to hit both sides of the bet. So now your odds change from the initial odds that I just laid out. So now Dallas, excuse me, Dallas is now +3.5, and um, New York is +4, meaning that now you've changed the odds to be more in your favor, and Dallas would have to lose the game by 4 points for you to lose the bet, or the Giants would have to lose by 4 points for you. Yeah, 4.5. Well, no, 4, because even if they lose by 4, um, it's still a loss because it's a push. They would have to lose by 4 points. Now, what Chris is saying is you do 3 more bets like that. So you have a 5 team teaser. And what he does, what's the slate? You have Thursday games, you have Sunday games. We didn't even talk about college football yet. We'll do that probably next week. But you could put college games in there. You could put basketball games in there. And as long as you, and then what he does, his strategy is he's going to go with his best 4 bets. And then on that 5th bet, he's going to pick the late or the night game. More likely the night game that's going on, or the Monday night game, to what we call close the ticket. And what he does is he does that. So now when he gets to that point, he can hedge the bet. So say, the Monday night game was, Tampa versus, I don't know, the Rams, and Tampa's favored by, it's in Tampa Bay and they're favored by 2.5 or 3 points, and he has Tampa to he has no, I'm sorry, he has the Rams, right? He has the Rams to cover. So now they're bet +7, they're bet +9.5. So he could stay with that bet and let it ride, or he could just bet Tampa on the other side of the bet. Usually, knowing Chris, he's a degenerate. He puts big money on it. That bet will probably be, a 2-3 unit bet. So that's 2 to 3 unit, 5 team teaser. Just give or take. I'm gonna assume that's about 1,200 in profit. So now he
Mhm.
can bet the other side of it, right? And just bet Tampa to cover the number, at minus what I say, -2.5 or -3. So now he's in a win-win mode because now he could win the bet, right? He could win the bet by having Tampa win the game, and the Rams could cover. So that's the kind of strategy and the mindset that he has, that he loves to kind of play when he plays with those teasers. And once we get in the season, we'll start to break down with that. If you're not part of the membership team, you're not going to get these plays live. We're going to talk about them. We're going to give our likes and our understanding of the game. But if you really want the plays, you got to go to MoneyPot Podcast on Instagram. Hit the link to join the membership team to get those plays. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody understood and kind of had that breakdown about how masterful and how clean betting those big teasers like that, and how it can really help your day. Say you had a bad day and you're falling on the teaser, boom, right in it, up, about 5 or 6 units, man. So great gem to drop, Chris. I love it. So teasers. When we're getting back to the teaser game, B Diddy, you talking about like you said, you're talking about how you stick with those super teasers. So you don't go over typically 4 teasers, or typically you love that 3 team teaser.
Yeah,
That's that's
I
your sweet
stick. I
spot.
stick. I mean, I think everybody needs to understand Vegas, the bookmakers, they love players to do teasers and parlays. They are considered sucker bets, right? When you look at it in the long run, you will be a loser. Let me repeat. In the long run, as you bet, a parlay better, a teaser better will ultimately be a loser better. That's why they're available. That's why they are pushed. That's why you see them now being really creative as far as Vegas, allowing different types of props to go across all platforms. They now have prop builders now. You want to know why? Is because they are loser bets. And yeah, it looks like you may not be risking a lot, but just think of how many millions and millions of people are betting the same way you bet. So your $10 parlay on a 16 team parlay, yeah, you may possibly hit a crazy number, but at the end of the day, there's millions of people behind you that bet that same bet that has lost. So that $10 a million times is 10 million. You get what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So ultimately, Vegas loves that. Bookmakers loves parlay bets and teaser bets. So I try to stay away from it. I'm just a sucker for teasers because I just like to get those points, whether it be going, bringing the favorite down or even putting the underdog a little bit higher. I just like it a little bit. So that's my little thing on the teaser. So I try to do that in my own favor. I don't go above 3 unless I see a good 4 teaser.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Right.
Because I like those 13 pointers. Sometimes I just think a team should not lose by 20, right? Or a team should not lose by 17, especially in NFL.
Yeah.
College can be a little shaky because those spreads get a little bit bigger. So, you're seeing 20-point spreads and you can tease them up to 30 points and they'll still get clean, right? But you just got to look at the games. I know you asked me about live betting. Live betting is just a flow, man. Live betting is as you're watching the game, what you're seeing the trends within the game.
Yeah.
Key things I look at is next team to score. Um, that's what I kind of make a lot of my money in live betting is looking at next team to score. Now the problem with that is that you're going to end up risking a lot of juice. I'm okay with that because I've made more money in getting in live betting next team to score more I have than regular betting.
Right.
Have I taken L's in that? Absolutely. Have I been a missed field goal? A bunch of times. Off the upright, other team comes down and score. I done lost all that juice because I might have doubled it, tripled it as they're getting closer to the red zone. A fumble going into the red zone. Certain things like that can be hindrance to your bet. But 9 out of 10, I would say probably over 60%, you're going to see a team scoring once they get across the 30 or 20-yard line. They're professional athletes. I'm not really doing that in the college level because now we're looking at a lesser quality of play on the college level, unless I'm looking at Alabama or those big time teams I know that are coached well, that's going to take those field goals because I need them to take those field goals
Yeah.
to win those bets. But the odds are big, so the juice is huge. Now,
Yeah.
mind you, It's up to you and what you want to do. That's where I make my money at, and that's where I kind of stick when I do my in live betting.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out the member Jesse Davis agreed. Backup quarterback, they would score 30 a game. The defense was the worst in NFL history for weeks. I don't think their defense is the worst in NFL history talent wise. If average, they win easy. And then, but anything can happen with Dak and injury. Who knows in the NFCs? Yeah, no. When we talked about earlier, man, Dallas, we agreed to the poll as well. The Dallas is the team to beat. The odds say it. What's on paper says it. The quarterback kind of says it. He's the best quarterback in the division, and they're just loaded from a talent wise on offense, and they can probably score with anybody in the league outside of probably KC. So yeah, man. No, we definitely agree, man. Appreciate you jumping on here. I want to talk about real quick here some of the rule changes that they implemented for this year. Nothing looks like from a betting wise it'll affect the number, and we'll get into what we talk about when we talk about the number. Anything they eliminated overtime in preseason, that's obvious. Something about maximum number of players in the setup zone during a free kickoff. It used to be 8 players, now it has to be 9, with 2 of them kind of behind stacked. So just trying to add more excitement, they're saying, in competition, what they think. The replay official can now provide information to the on-field official, which is kind of like the sky judge, to help with the on-field replay. Um, Let me see. Ensure that enforcement to all penalties committed by either team on extra point, 2-point conversion attempts. So this could be something that changes the number, right? So there's penalties committed by either team for that extra point. Somebody goes for 2, and they miss it. It's a penalty. Does that change the spot of the ball? Moves it back, and now they go for 1 instead of that 2 points. So it can change the number for your team totals. Your overs and unders during a year. So that's something to look out for. And then just add a loss of downs to penalty of a second forward pass. We really don't see that too much. So nothing really crazy in terms of 2021 NFL rule changes that will affect the number. But what I want to run back to, and as we're talking about football betting strategies, and just for you guys to understand when we say the number. So there's a couple key numbers when we talk about football. They're 3, they're 7, they're 10, 13, 17, and if we get there, 21. So these are the numbers that typically field goals, touchdowns, and where people win or lose. So when you start looking at these odds and numbers, like again, let's break down Dallas versus the Eagles again. Dallas versus the Eagles, it's in Philly. Dallas is favored by, let's go with -3.5. So when you first look at this bet, and you have to look and say to yourself, do I think Dallas is going to win by at least a touchdown? Because typically points don't fall on 5, sometimes 6. You might see 21-17, so that's a 4-point spread. But usually it's going to be like 17-10, 24-17. You might see 28-21, then 30 to 28. You're not going to see like 30-26, 30-25, 30-22. So use your football sense when you start looking at these bets and when you want to bet, and that's what we mean by the number. Got to understand the betting number when you bet football. So just for y'all to understand that. That's when we talk about betting through the number. This is why teasers are good, because they push the spread through the number. So if you have a bet that is -3 and you tease it up to +4, well, that's getting through the number. You're typically not going to see teams lose by 4 points. You do see it sometimes, but typically not. And then you can buy a point too on those teasers. You add more juice, but you can buy a point on those teasers, and it could be put +4.5. So now you almost lock yourself in, knowing that this team needs to lose by a touchdown. And it happens. We've seen it. We've seen backdoor covers all the time. So, just understand when you're betting the line and betting through the number exactly what you're betting. So let me see here. We talked about football strategy. We talked about NFL preview. We talked about a little bit about what's going on in sports. Men winning the Olympic gold, so that shouldn't have been a surprise. Man, you talked about college a little bit, man. Bobby Bowden just passed away. Great Florida State head coach, legend in all aspects of the game. Hall of Fame game. Yo, is Dame coming to Philly, man? Real quick before we get to like best bets and get out of here, man. Like what are we doing here? Is Dame coming to Philly? Like, are we going to will this to happen? Because everybody else has been willing and dealing in the goddamn league. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? What y'all boys think, man? Real quick, get into a little bit of off-season Sixers talk, man. We saw Thibault take a picture with him.
Hmm.
We I guess we hired his coach or his shooting coach. What are we talking about, man? Do you
I,
think they got enough to get Dame here?
I definitely think they got enough, right?
Right.
I think they got enough. Are we gonna pull the trigger?
Yeah, they got
That's
enough.
So
the
obviously,
question. And
man,
Does Dame want to come here? It comes down to that too. I hope so.
well, they said he loves the fact that when he played with, this is the rumor, that when he played in the Olympics and they had mobile big guys and other stars, he loved the fact that he was in that situation, and he
Hmm.
and he wants that, and that's what we're seeing the NBA going to, right? Anyway, all these stars kind of butting up to make these kind of crazy all-star teams. It's like 2K, right? Like, you trade somebody on 2K and you just hit the OK button and override the system to make
Hmm.
sure the trade goes through, right? That's what that's what we're seeing right now. So is Dame coming to Philly, Brent? Like, what you like? You know what I mean? Is that pulling the trigger? And if he does, right? He does. Got to be multiple first round picks. Got to be obviously Ben. Got to be, I'm gonna say Thibault and Maxi.
That's why it's so funny that Thibault out there taking pictures, bro.
Yeah, you're
If Dame
gone.
coming, you
You're
gone.
gone. Yeah, Thibault and
So especially
Maxi,
what he shows. So Thibault, Maxi,
and
which is
maybe
unfortunate. I would like to keep Maxi here, but
another player. So you
yeah,
might be four players and probably two or three first round picks for Dame.
give it up.
No, I'm not saying I pull the trigger. I'm pulling the trigger in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
It's Dame, right? I'll take
yeah,
it.
I
But
don't know, man. I don't know what he's going to do. I really don't. I think it's possible. I think Joel got to really be on his game as far as like starting to get on the horn and talking to Dame and trying to just recruit
yeah,
him. Like, yo, come
yeah,
on, man, let's do this. Yo, like, let's get it done. Because the East is getting stronger, bro.
real
There's a
strong.
lot of teams
Brooklyn's gonna
making
be tough.
Brooklyn, the Heat, the
Yep,
Bulls now making splash.
yep.
Um, Atlanta making a little bit of splash, locking some players up, extending
Mm.
their players. So Milwaukee's still gonna be Milwaukee.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
the defending champs
right. So it's going to be tough. I I would love to see Dame in the Sixers
in the
uniform.
60s. We're
I,
we're
I,
in number three. We're in number three
I don't
too.
care what number he can wear, whatever number you want to get. Right? I think AI will be okay with that. If he
Yeah,
wants
I
to wear
think I
number
think
three,
so. I think
but
AI.
I doubt he'll get number three. He can make
Yeah,
it those old high school number, whatever you want.
right. Chris, man, before we get into our best bets of the day or what things we're leaning with before we get out of here, man, what you think, man? Dame coming to Philly, man?
I sure the hell hope so. I'm getting everything that's not named Embiid to
I
get
Yeah,
hear that.
him.
I hear
Yeah,
that. I hear that. I would, if I could keep Maxi or Thibault and switch that out with Harris, I would. I think I would. Like
they
if
don't
we
want
give up
Harris though.
Harris, Ben, and a couple first round picks, and maybe keep Maxi and Thibault some way somehow, or maybe give him Danny Green or something that we just re-signed. Hey, see you. I'll take it in a heartbeat. Chris, I know you got to get out here soon, man. You got I don't think you got any plays for today. You don't really doing the baseball thing, so what I mean, appreciate you jumping on, bro, man, and I mean we'll catch you next week.
of course, man. Appreciate y'all boys, man.
Yeah, I'll check you out.
All right.
So
All right, my
B Diddy,
guy.
man, what I mean, we always Sundays is always our thing when we hoop. You know what I mean? What you got for me, man? Get the people a snippet, man. What you looking at today? Things that you're really, really looking at, things that you really like, possibly making a move. Get the people what they want, man.
Well, one thing I'm happy soccer's getting back on board too. So there's going to be some plays
Yeah,
I can kind of put some soccer plays out there. But in the meantime, really only two plays I'm really following right now, and that's going to be the Philadelphia Phillies. Man, I'm going to follow that hot train. I think I'll probably take first half Philadelphia, Zach Wheeler on the mound with a 2.57 ERA, going against the Mets, who are struggling over these past almost a month now on scoring the base, on scoring or hitting the baseball.
and bats are quiet.
Um, yeah, so I like to follow that hot train of the Philadelphia Phillies first half, Zach Wheeler, maybe even full game, first half full game. Um, and then second on that, I want to
Gotta be
look at
back to back sweeps too.
yeah, I mean we hot right now,
Yeah, we
taking
are.
control of the division. So
Yes, sir.
the last one I'll look at too, I'll probably take the Los Angeles Dodgers first half. Walker Bueller on the mound. He's been absolutely dominant all season, going against the Los Angeles Angels, who've been putting up a fight this series. I know they lost last night, but they kind of fought with them all day into the eighth inning. But I'd like Walker Bueller kind of dominating the first half. So give me Walker Bueller first half. Most likely is going to be minus a half at probably good juice, probably like minus 130, 140 maybe.
Yeah, I'm looking it up now because I know that line is 330 right now. So I
Yeah,
want
so
to see
that
what
first
that.
half is going to be pretty high.
Yeah.
I also little sprinkle on some heavy leans. I would look at Phillies team total over and Mets team total under. Like I said, the Mets have only scored 5 runs in the last almost a month. Most likely that team total will be 4.5. Get the under 4.5 for the Mets, and
Hmm.
most likely the over team total over will be 4.5 with the Philadelphia Phillies. I like them to get over 4.5 runs.
Okay.
So you might see for me, I might see like a 5-2 game here.
Yeah.
I think the Philadelphia Eagles win 5-2. Write that down. Let's see if that happens. 5-2, five
Philadelphia
three.
Eagles to Philadelphia Phillies.
I'm sorry, Philadelphia Phillies 5.
What soccer? Anything from soccer? I was actually looking at soccer, and I think I like LA Galaxy.
Well, yeah, I mean MLS. I haven't really focused on.
Okay.
I like the European.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Where it's
yeah.
what a DFB Cup has started, which is the German soccer league.
Uh huh.
This is the first week, so I'm kind of looking at some things here. Yesterday, there's a few teams I would have bet on if I wasn't just staying away until I see what's going on.
Yeah,
Um, so I do watch some of the German league. Like you had, who was it? It was Bayern Leverkusen. They won 3-0, which is kind of what I was expecting. Also,
yeah,
you have Dortmund. They won 3-0 also. So two teams I was looking at to get ready to start betting on, they
yeah.
won 3-0. So this is the first week. I'm gonna let this first week ride by. La Liga 1, which is the French league. They're opening up, and then and following behind that, you should have the Premier League coming in shortly. So um, the Liga and the German league is kind of what I'll start to look at after the first week and
Yeah,
see where
I
I'll.
think I'll stick with the Premier League when once that goes.
Hmm.
But
But
yeah, I don't.
there's some money in these other German leagues,
In the German leagues, yeah,
German leagues and the
yeah,
La Liga leagues.
I'll take a look at it. I haven't really looked at too much of the German soccer leagues, but yeah, keep us in the loop, man. As soon as you get an edge, man, you already know, man. Membership folks, man, look out for some soccer plays
For
if you're
sure.
into soccer plays. You know, I'm doing everything and anything to add value to those membership plays, man, and make sure that we stay in the black, as they say when we hit these plays, man. So I would give my best bets, but you got to join, like I said, man. And let me bring up the quick the quick little sales pitch, real quick. Where is it at, man? There we go.
I might got a nice little parlay for people.
There you go. Yeah, 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 yeah. Give me some parlays. You know the people love parlays, man. And we're introducing the A2D aka Money Team membership for not 9.99 a month. I talked about the picks, right? But there's all kinds of stuff that you get. You can see as soon as you shout out on the comments of you're a member and you have the little icon that says that you're a member, I'll shout you out right away. We're going to do member only shows, appearances for members to jump on the shows with all the shows across the A2D radio network. And obviously the picks from myself, B. Diddy, Renzo. And I can't forget about Steve-O, man. Some of y'all don't know who Steve-O is, man, but Steve-O was my guy from day one.
Mm-hmm.
His schedule kind of changed, so he's doing some back end work. But I talked to him yesterday, and we're looking to get him on the show live. from Atlanta.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be at the Atlanta Eagles game. So going with an Atlanta fan too, so we can talk some shit while they walking through the crowd and see if we can get some live interaction with some of the people down there, man. So hopefully we can make that happen. So for everybody on the show, thank y'all for joining. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe button. For my membership folks, man, for my membership team, I'm about to get in the lab. Wilson just hit me up too. He's in the lab looking at DFS for baseball today. And baseball's coming, man. I'm sorry, football's coming, man. So we're really going to get in our bag. We're going to give out live plays, live bets, and we're going to do our thing, man. If you know anything about MoneyPot Podcast, man, we put everything on the front street, whether we win, whether we lose. We put it out there for people to make sure that they put themselves in the right position to win and let the numbers and the odds play for you, man. So for B. Diddy, Moss Money, MoneyPot Podcast, man. Appreciate y'all for joining. Make sure y'all tell a friend, man. We out.
Appreciate y'all.
Yo, come on, man. Yo, MoneyPot about to start.
I know, I'm coming, man.
Yeah, grab your notepad, man, for real.
I ain't gotta fuck it, man. Come on.
Yeah, man, they be spitting shit, man.
True.
Yeah.
Side die in that boy.
Money pop, money talk. All they do is talk facts. Bird gang. All they do is talk stacks. 360 on the new view. Go run, tell the ad. 40-yard dash time. Moss Money Podcast time. S.co headline.